Welcome to the week of January 26th through 30th, 2026. This is not a week that rewards speed. It's a week that rewards sequence. The difference matters because doing the right thing at the wrong time costs you twice. Once in effort, once in outcome. This week has a specific rhythm built into it. Monday asks you to orient. Tuesday and Wednesday ask you to execute with precision. Thursday confirms whether your sequence was correct. And Friday asks you to close loops, not start new ones. If you try to rush Monday, you'll spend Wednesday correcting. If you push Friday too hard, you'll carry tension into next week unnecessarily. So the strategy is simple. Match your energy to the day's natural function. This video is organized by life path numbers 1 through 9. If you already know yours, skip directly to your section. If you don't, just add up the digits of your birth date until you get a single number. We're keeping this practical. Let's walk through the week. Here's how the 5 days want to unfold. Monday is your grounding day. It's not slow, it's deliberate. Use it to clarify what matters this week and what doesn't. Resist the urge to jump into execution mode before you've oriented yourself. The people who win this week will start from clarity, not speed. Tuesday shifts into controlled execution. The pace picks up, but only for those who use Monday well. If you skipped your setup work, Tuesday will feel chaotic. If you didn't, it'll feel smooth. Wednesday brings natural adjustment. Something will need a second look, a conversation, a timeline, a number. That's not a problem. That's the design. Expect it. Plan for it. Don't treat correction like failure. Thursday is your confirmation point. You'll know by end of day whether your sequencing worked. If it did, momentum carries you. If it didn't, you'll feel it, and that's still useful data. Friday is for closure, not creation. Wrap conversations. Finish documents. Confirm next steps. Do not launch anything new if you can avoid it. The week wants to end clean, not extended. Now, let's go number by number. Life Path 1. Weekly theme. Led through patience, not force. Your instinct this week will be to accelerate, resist it. The win is in letting others catch up to your clarity without you having to push. Work and decisions. You'll be tempted to make a decision early in the week that you don't actually need to make until Thursday. Let it sit. The information that changes your mind arrives midweek. If you commit too early, you'll have to backtrack publicly, and that costs you credibility. Money and spending. Hold major financial commits until Thursday or later. Not because something is wrong, but because your conviction will be clearer then. Early week, you're operating on instinct. Late week, you're operating on confirmation. Communication and relationships. You may feel misunderstood on Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't overcorrect. Don't repeat yourself. Just let it breathe. By Thursday, the other person will catch up without you having to explain again. Patience protects the relationship here. Driving/commute pace. Steady. Do not let frustration dictate your speed. If you're running late, accept it. Aggressive movement this week creates more problems than it solves. What to do? Use Monday to map your week, not start it. Let conversations finish naturally, even if they take longer. Revisit a decision Thursday that felt obvious Monday. What to avoid? Forcing clarity before Wednesday. Reacting to someone's delay as if it's disrespect. Starting something Friday that requires follow-up next week. What to postpone? Anything that requires other people to move at your speed. Wait until next week when momentum matches your tempo. Life Path 2. Weekly theme. Protect your bandwidth. This week will ask you to facilitate, mediate, and bridge, but not all at once. Say yes to sequence, no to simultaneous. Work and decisions. You're going to be pulled into other people's urgency. Most of it isn't real. Before you react, ask, does this need me today, or does it just feel loud? Half of what looks urgent on Monday becomes irrelevant by Wednesday. Money and spending. If someone is asking you to split a cost, cover an expense, or commit financially to a shared responsibility, get everything in writing. not because of distrust, but because memory will be unreliable this week. Protect clarity, not just cash. Communication and relationships. You'll absorb someone else's stress midweek if you're not careful. Their chaos is not your assignment. You can be supportive without becoming the solution. Listen fully, reflect accurately, but don't take ownership of what they need to resolve themselves. Driving/commute pace. Gentle. Don't rush between obligations. Build transition time into your day. The 5 minutes you save by speeding will cost you 20 minutes of recovery. What to do? Confirm plans twice. People will misremember details. Block time Thursday to catch up on what slipped Monday through Wednesday. Let someone else lead a conversation, even if you see the answer first. What to avoid? Saying yes in the moment without checking your capacity. Mediating a conflict that isn't asking for your input. Overextending yourself on Friday to finish everything. What to postpone? Any partnership conversation that involves long-term commitment. Have it next week when both parties have clearer emotional bandwidth. Life Path 3. Weekly theme. Channel your energy into completion, not creation. You'll have 10 ideas this week. Write them all down, but don't act on them yet. Finishing what's already in motion is your highest leverage. Work and decisions. Your best work this week happens when you go narrow, not wide. Pick one project and move it forward meaningfully. If you scatter your attention across 3 things, you'll end the week with 3 half-done deliverables and no momentum. Money and spending. Impulse spending risk is high Tuesday and Wednesday. If you see something you want, screenshot it and wait 48 hours. If it still makes sense Friday, buy it. Most of the time, it won't. Communication and relationships. You're going to say something clever that lands wrong. It's not your intent, it's the timing. Midweek especially, people are more literal and less playful than usual. Adjust your tone slightly. You don't need to dim yourself, just slow down your delivery. Driving/commute pace. Moderate. Your mind will be moving faster than your surroundings. Don't let internal speed translate into external risk. Stay present behind the wheel. What to do? Finish a project that's been sitting at 80% done. Capture ideas immediately. Voice memos, notes app, anything. Reach out to someone you've been meaning to text. Early week is best. What to avoid? Starting a creative project that requires weeks of follow-through. Overcommitting socially when your energy is actually project-focused. Saying yes to a collaboration that doesn't have a clear structure. What to postpone? Pitching a new idea at work. Let it develop internally for another week. The timing will be better in early February. Life Path 4. Weekly theme. Trust your systems, but stay flexible within them. This week will test your process, not to break it, but to refine it. What's working will prove itself. What's not will show you clearly. Work and decisions. You're going to be asked to make a compromise that feels like chaos. It's not. It's calibration. You can hold your standard and adjust your method at the same time. The outcome doesn't require you to abandon structure, just adapt it. Money and spending. Good week to review recurring expenses. Something you're paying for monthly is no longer delivering value. You'll spot it if you look. Cancel it Thursday or Friday. Don't wait for next month's charge to remind you. Communication and relationships. Someone will ask you for something without enough notice. You're allowed to say, "I can do that, but I need until Thursday." You don't have to scramble to accommodate poor planning. Boundaries protect the relationship, not hurt it. Driving/commute pace. Steady and predictable. Don't change your route impulsively. Stick to what you know. The 5 minutes you might save aren't worth the mental load of navigating unfamiliar patterns. What to do? Double-check anything you scheduled for late week. Confirmations matter. Organize one area of your workspace or home that's been bothering you. Have a money conversation you've been avoiding. Clarity is available now. What to avoid? Saying yes to a timeline you know is unrealistic just to be agreeable. Judging yourself for needing more time than someone else. Skipping your routine Friday because the week felt long. What to postpone? Large purchases, even if you've been planning them. Wait one more week. A better option or price point will emerge. Life Path 5. Weekly theme. Contain your energy without suppressing it. This is a week where focus beats variety. You can still move quickly, but in one direction at a time. Work and decisions. You'll get bored midweek. That's predictable. The question is whether you let boredom derail your progress or just acknowledge it and keep moving. Boredom isn't a signal to switch tasks, it's just a feeling. Let it exist without obeying it. Money and spending. If you're considering a spontaneous purchase, travel, tech, gear, experience, ask yourself, am I buying the thing or am I buying the feeling of newness? If it's the latter, go for a drive, rearrange a room, try a new route. Same brain reward, fraction of the cost. Communication and relationships. You're going to want to have a hard conversation just to create motion. Resist. Not every silence needs to be filled. Not every tension needs to be named right now. Some things resolve faster when you let them sit. Driving/commute pace. You'll be tempted to treat traffic like a game. Don't. Stay consistent. The margin for error is smaller this week, and your reflexes, while sharp, aren't superhuman. What to do? Commit to one project and see it through to Friday, even if it feels repetitive. Change something small in your environment to satisfy your need for novelty. Move your body intentionally, gym, walk, anything that burns off restless energy. What to avoid? Backing out of a commitment just because it stopped feeling exciting. Saying something provocative just to see what happens. Filling your weekend with plans before you know how Friday feels. What to postpone? Any major change that you've been considering for less than 2 weeks. Let it season. If it still feels right in February, move on it then. Life Path 6. Weekly theme. You cannot fix everything this week, and you're not supposed to. Your job is to show up with care, not to solve, save, or absorb every problem around you. Work and decisions. Someone at work is struggling. You'll see it before they say it. You can acknowledge it without adopting it. A simple, I see you're dealing with a lot, let me know if I can help, is enough. Don't pre-solve their problem. Money and spending. If you're spending money on someone else this week, a gift, a meal, a loan, make sure it's clean. No resentment. No expectation of return. If you feel either of those, don't spend. Wait until your motivation is clearer. Communication and relationships. You're going to be the emotional stabilizer for multiple people. That's fine, but you need to build in recovery time. If you give Tuesday and Wednesday to others, protect Thursday night for yourself. Non-negotiable. Driving/commute pace. Calm. Don't rush to be early. Don't stress about being late. Arrive when you arrive. Your presence matters more than your punctuality this week. What to do? Have one conversation where you ask for help instead of offering it. Say no to something small just to practice. Check in with yourself as often as you check in with others. What to avoid? Trying to manage someone else's emotions because yours feel too big. Overcommitting your weekend to make up for boundaries you set during the week. Judging yourself for feeling tired when you didn't do that much. What to postpone? A difficult conversation with a family member. The conditions aren't right. It won't go how you hope. Wait 2 weeks. Life Path 7. Weekly theme. Your need for space is not antisocial, it's strategic. Protect your internal time this week. The clarity you're looking for can arrive in a noisy environment. Work and decisions. You're going to be asked to collaborate on something that you'd rather handle alone. If you can negotiate solo work time, do it. If you can't, set clear boundaries within the collaboration. I'll do my best thinking offline and bring it back to the group. Money and spending. Good week for research, bad week for purchase. If you're considering a big buy, go deep on reviews, comparisons, specs, but don't click confirm order until next week. You'll spot something you missed. Communication and relationships. You don't owe anyone an explanation for needing time to think. Let me get back to you is a complete sentence. If someone pushes for an immediate answer, that's their discomfort, not your responsibility. Driving/commute pace. Smooth. Use drive time as processing time. No podcasts, no calls. Just you and the road. Let your mind do what it does best. Sort, filter, connect. What to do? Block 2 hours midweek where no one can reach you. Revisit a question or problem you shelved last month. New insight is available. Write down what you're thinking instead of trying to explain out loud. What to avoid? Saying yes to a social plan that you know will drain you. Forcing a decision before you've had enough time to think it through. Feeling guilty for not responding immediately. What to postpone? A group project or team initiative. Your best contribution will come when you've had time to work through it privately first. Life Path 8. Weekly theme. Power this week comes from restraint, not force. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to dominate the room. Quiet confidence will take you further than loud competence. Work and decisions. You'll see an opportunity early in the week that looks time-sensitive. It's not. Someone is creating urgency to force your hand. Don't fall for it. Take until Thursday to evaluate. If it's real, it'll still be there. If it's not, you'll be glad you waited. Money and spending. Strong week for negotiation, but only if you're willing to walk away. If you need the deal, you lose leverage. If you're exploring the deal, you win. Keep that frame in every financial conversation. Communication and relationships. You're going to be right about something, and someone else is going to be wrong. You don't need to correct them publicly. Let the outcome do the teaching. Your reputation benefits more from being quietly right than loudly correct. Driving/commute pace. Controlled. Don't turn the commute into a power move. You're not racing anyone. Arrive intact, not first. What to do? Delegate something you've been holding too tightly. Ask for what you want in one conversation. Clear, direct, no justification. Review a contract or agreement before signing. Read the fine print. What to avoid? Taking on a fight that isn't yours to win. Spending money to signal status instead of to create value. Overriding someone's idea just because you see a flaw. What to postpone? A leadership move or public positioning. The timing isn't right. You'll know when it is, and it's not this week. Life Path 9. Weekly theme. Let go of what's already finished. You're holding on to something, a project, a relationship dynamic, a version of yourself that has completed its cycle. This week will make that obvious. Your job is to release it with grace. Work and decisions. Something you've been trying to save isn't savable. That doesn't mean you failed. It means the season ended. Stop pouring energy into revival and start asking, what's next? The answer is closer than you think. Money and spending. If you owe someone money, pay it this week. If someone owes you, and it's been months, let it go. The energetic cost of holding on to it is higher than the dollar amount. Clear it and move on. Communication and relationships. You're going to have a conversation that feels like closure, even if no one says the word. Don't resist it. Don't try to extend it. Let it land. Completion isn't rejection. It's respect for what was and honesty about what is. Driving/commute pace. Reflective. Give yourself space to think. The drive is where the insights will come. Don't fill it with distraction. What to do? Finish something you started months ago, even if it no longer excites you. Forgive yourself for something you've been carrying quietly. Clear out your phone, old texts, unused apps, photos you don't need. What to avoid? Holding on to a commitment out of guilt when the purpose has faded. Trying to fix a relationship that's naturally completing. Starting something new before you've closed what's behind you. What to postpone? Any major beginning. You're in an ending cycle. Honor it. The next chapter starts in February. Universal guidance. No matter your number, here's what the week asks of all of us. Workdays. Treat Monday like setup, not performance. Treat Tuesday and Wednesday like execution with adjustments built in. Treat Thursday like your checkpoint. Treat Friday like your exit ramp. Don't try to make every day do the same thing. Handling pressure. Most of the pressure you feel this week is self-imposed. It's not coming from the situation. It's coming from your internal timeline. Check that. Ask yourself, who set this deadline? Is it real or is it inherited? Half the time, you'll realize you're rushing for no reason. Slowing down without falling behind. Slowing down doesn't mean stopping. It means moving with intention instead of momentum. When you slow down, you see more. You waste less. You correct earlier. Speed hides problems. Pace reveals them while they're still small. Exiting the week cleanly. Friday afternoon, take 15 minutes and do this. Write down anything unfinished that's still important. Identify one thing you're letting go of. Confirm one thing for Monday so you don't start next week blind. That's it. You don't need a full review. You just need a clean handoff between this week and the next. And here's the truth we return to. Time is the strongest. It never stops. It never waits. When you move with it instead of against it, effort reduces and results improve. You don't control the current, but you can learn to read it. And when you do, you stop fighting for progress and start positioning for it. That's the difference between force and flow. This week will teach you which one you've been using. Closing. That's the week. If this was helpful, drop your life path number in the comments. I read them, and it helps me understand what's landing. Save this video if you want to come back to it midweek. A lot of people do. Wednesday, especially, tends to be the day you'll want to check your number again. If you're new here, subscribe if this approach makes sense to you. No hype, no drama, just practical timing intelligence every week. Take care of yourself. Move with the week, not against it. I'll see you in the next one.